So welcome back to my channel, like I said, but if you're new here, my name is Ryan. Nice to meet you, and I'm a financial manager. I went to school for finance and accounting at SIU Carbondale back from 2005 to 2009. I work in it every day, and I've just decided coming up on, well, not quite a year, in November of 2018 to take everything that I learned in school at my job to put it into my day-to-day life. So if you're interested in finance and budgeting type videos, then go ahead and consider subscribing to my channel down below. So every 2 weeks or bi-monthly, I try to have a video up that shows you guys how I'm budgeting my money for that paycheck. But rest assured that even if I don't post a video, I'm still going in and doing the maintenance, I should say, that my budget requires to stay on track to my financial goals. So hopefully this channel can help you, but I'm just here to show you what I'm doing, and hopefully you pick up some things along the way. So if you're new here, back by popular demand, actually, there was a couple videos in there where I didn't, but you guys seem to really like the two camera type of view. So I like to chat with you guys over here on my left, and then on my right I have an overhead view of what I'm actually doing in my planner. So if you guys have a budget binder or anywhere that you keep your finances, your personal finances, go ahead and take that out. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing for this paycheck. If you are interested in the actual cash stuffing, because I do have cash envelopes and sinking funds as well, I'll put a timestamp here on the screen so you can go ahead and skip to that part. But if you want the step-by-step walkthrough, then just watch it all the way through. So this is my budget binder. I do plan to do an updated like budget binder setup, so stay tuned for that. This is just a classic happy planner with one of their covers on it. So I bought the cover and the discs from Michaels. Everything else inside I actually made myself. I have an Etsy shop and a Shopify standalone site where I provide, you know, budget accessories, things like that. These are actually test inserts that I made about an hour and a half ago, literally, so they're not up in the shop yet. I'm just testing it out, see how it goes. We'll see if we like it, see if anyone requests it. Also, usually I have my nails done. Don't come for me. I couldn't find my my nail file to be able to like buff them up to stick the nails on, because I do them myself, but I was like, you know what, forget it, I'm tired of looking. So I'm letting my nails breathe, and they are really janky, so let's focus on the numbers and not my nails, right? So here is the not spreadsheet. If you guys are interested in the spreadsheet version of this, I actually posted it at the same time that I'm posting this video. I'm posting the spreadsheet version. So if you're more of a digital Excel, Google Sheets type of person, go ahead, check that one out as well. But this is the manual version. So my first page here, I just kind of have like the summary, the cliff notes, if you will, of what's going to be going on. So I have the summary section here and a snapshot. We're going to come back to this and fill this out as we go, but kind of like toward the end. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and actually take all of these out of the discs. That's why I like the Happy Planner so much, because you can go ahead and not be committed to actually having it in like a spiral bound system. So that's on page 1. On the back of page 1, I have my sections for my different bills. Now I have a lot of little knickknacks, little one-off bills. So I recommend to anyone who's starting to budget for the first time, really dig deep into your personal finances. You know, take a week or two or a month to see where you're actually spending your money. Go back and look at your debit and credit card statements from the past month or two. See where you're really spending your money. Look in your PayPal receipts. Look in your, you know, your emails for receipts, your Apple Music, things like that. I'm sorry, your Apple receipts that are emailed to you, things like that, to really dig down deep. So I really dug down deep in my budget back in 2018, and you'll see that my videos kind of reflect that. So I have a place for electronic bills, excuse me, special expenses, debt payments, savings. Next page is apps and memberships, and I had a little space down here, so I put a notes section, and then finally I have my cash envelopes and sinking funds. So we really dig deep into my budget on this channel. If you're new, I use real numbers, real everything. I don't have time to make up a fake budget for YouTube, or like to block out my income but then show the total at the bottom and then go through and, you know, finagle numbers. I'm not doing that. I like being really transparent with you guys. I'm sure that, you know, people who do that on YouTube and block out numbers or use fake numbers or estimated numbers or things like that, they have a reason, so nothing against them. I just find it more transparent, more real life, because we all make money, right? We all need to spend money. I think that personal finances have become so taboo, so I'm really here to, you know, be open with you guys and tell you guys exactly what I'm doing. So as we go through this, you'll see exactly what I'm doing. You may not agree with all the expenses I have. You may think that I can cut things out to save for this or to save for that, but keep in mind that with my journey, I'm really budgeting my money, telling it where to go, and it's really been working for me, you know, for the past 9 months. So let's start off on page 2 here and go down to the electronic bill section. So I decided to have this part, right, and I specifically called it electronic bills because I am a zero-based cash budgeter, which means that I have an assignment for every dollar that comes in, but some of that is through debit and credit and some of it is through cash. So I don't want to go in and take out money for my Verizon bill if I know that it's coming out, you know, on the 3rd of the month, let's say. Then my checking account is going to be short that money. So there are certain things that I need to leave in my Chase account, which is where I do my checking. Certain things where I need to leave in my Chase account, so I like to put that here. Okay, so let's go down and see. Sorry, let me zoom you one last time. And I like doing the, oh, I skipped income. Yeah, let's skip income and go right to the bills, Ryan. Good job. So I like doing the paper version because I like to get everything out of my head and onto paper. It really, really does help me. So our first category that I'm going to put here under the summary part is income. This particular paper, hold on, I'm going to use my face and open my phone. For this particular paycheck, we are doing a few things, right? And if you go over to my spreadsheet version, you'll see the exact breakdown of this. But for this pay period, my regular paycheck for my full-time income, sorry that's loud, is $1495.82. Other is $402. Sinking funds is $188. And we'll talk about each of these categories as we go. And then my rollover from the previous paycheck is $465.94. So my total income that we're dealing with is a positive $551.76. Okay, so that's our starting, our positive, our top line that we're going to subtract from. Okay, let's put this to the side. So now let's go down the electronic bills. First of all, I have rent, and my budgeted amount here is $200. My rent is really low because I still live with my mom. I'm a single parent of one son, Elijah. He is 7 years old, and he, myself, and my mom all live in the same house still. I am working on moving out, so pray for me. And that is why the rent is so low. So I just give her, you know, the $400 a month, just for like her regular expenses. And then we also have household expenses that we know that are coming up, like new windows, appliances, gutters, the roof, tuck pointing, things like that are coming up that I also work into my budget. So my variance here is $0. So I have a category section, budget, actual, and variance. And also I do all of my bills in half. I pay all of my bills in half each pay period. For one, I'm in the habit of paying all the bills, so it's less likely that I'll forget to pay a bill. And second of all, I like to have less of a hit on one paycheck. Even though your bills may become due more in the first half of the month, for example, than the second half, paying each bill in half every time you get paid lessens the load. So let's say your paycheck was $1,500 for the 15th of the month, but your rent is coming out and it's $1,200. So instead of putting aside a whole $1,200 from a $1,500 paycheck and only having $300 to divvy up between your bills, put aside $600 from each paycheck, so then that way you have $900 to work with and divvy up between your bills. So it's less of a hit. It makes budgeting a lot less stressful, let me tell you that. But just know that you do have to get a month ahead on those bills before you can start paying it in half, because if you just started today and started paying bills in half, your bill would become due before you most likely will become due before you have that next half of the payment. So let's say you just started today on the 1st, your cell phone bill is due on the 11th, but you only put down half on the 1st, but you don't get paid again until the 15th. That bill that's due the 11th comes before your next pay date. So you want to make sure that you're paid up before you can start setting money aside. Verizon, speaking of cell phone bills, Verizon, my budget was $129. It actually came in at $126.40. So since my actual was lower than my budget, I'm going to subtract that from my budget. So $129 minus $126.40 is $2.60. So we actually have $2.60 to work with. Positive $2.60, I should say. Bam, bam, bam. All right, and I'm looking actually at the computer at my spreadsheet so that I don't waste too much time, like, will this work, won't it, or whatever. So I do my spreadsheet first to plug in the numbers with my pre-formulated cells, and then I dump it into my planner. Verizon, okay. Then we got Geico, which is my car insurance. Budget $73.59. It's the same every month. Oh, I was about to do the math on that, girl. So that is $0. Gas, I moved to my electronic bills because I want to start using my American Express card more, because it's been sitting around like with no transaction history for a couple of months. So I don't want it just sitting there. So I want to use it for gas, for small purchases like gas, and then I'll go ahead and pay it before the billing cycle is over. So my goal is not to pay interest on this amount, but I want Amex to see like, hey, she is using the card, we can bump her up and build that credit history with them. And then we have a new category, Eli swim lessons. We actually took a family vacay to the Dells a week ago. So we took a family vacay to the Dells, and he was like really timid in the water, and he didn't used to be like that. But living in Chicago, we only get to swim, you know, 2.5, 3 months max out of the year. So he really hasn't swam. So we went to the Dells. He was kind of just like, whoa, haven't done this all 2019. So I decided when we got home to sign him up for swim lessons. Now, I budgeted $69. Okay, I budgeted $69 because I thought they were going to do a $25 enrollment fee and then a $44 prorated amount. But they actually ended up waiving the enrollment fee and not signing him up until August, to be able to like to charge me that chunk of money of $88 a month. So since I didn't set that aside, I'm gonna do the whole $88 now. So my variance here is I thought it was gonna be $69, but it actually ended up being $88. So I'm at a $19 variance here. $19. And that is a negative. So what I did, this is the first one that warrants an explanation. From my income, remember I had, or maybe you don't, but I have a sinking fund called Eli Extra. So that sinking fund, I went ahead and transferred that money into my checking account and then flushed it out and paid it here. So I did my budget first, but then he had the swimming lesson, so I knew that that's how I know that it's going to be $88. So I ended up taking $88 instead of $69 out for him. Then we have these other categories here, these other 4, and I'll go ahead and fill them in now, and then we'll work them one by one. We have debt payments, savings, apps and memberships, and then special expenses. Okay, so hopping over here to debt payments, I currently have 6 debts that I'm working on. I have 3 credit cards, a car note, student loan, and a dental bill. So those 6 I'm working on. So I decided to put them here in their own chunk so that we can work it, so we can work the breakdown. So for my 3 credit cards, I have American Express, Capital One Quicksilver, Capital One Platinum. My car note is through CarMax. My student loans are with Navient, the devil. And my dental bill, I just put under my dentist name, Dr. S. So those are the 6 debts that we are currently working on. Now, for my American Express, my budget is $290 to pay this paycheck. Now, if we go back over here, our income was $25.51. This is not all from my full-time job, remember? So within this, I have $260 in cash that my boyfriend gave me for Wisconsin Dells, and then I also have $30 that I need to pay in gas from my last paycheck. So if I do $260 plus the $30 that I put into my income, flush it out into my Amex, that's where I get to $290. So my budget and actual is the same, no variance there. My Quicksilver, I kind of just, you know, see what I can do. I like to do at a minimum about $75 a month for that one. I do need to do a debt check-in also. So I budgeted $130 for this paycheck, and I ended up doing $130. My Platinum card is only for expenses that have to do with MGB, right? With Mama's Got a Budget. If there are any expenses on that card that do not have to do with MGB, like emergency, I will go ahead and take it out of the next paycheck. But for this paycheck, we didn't have any of those expenses, so it's zeros across the board. CarMax, our car note, is $516. But I cut that in half and do $258, no variance there. Navient, that is a whole different animal. My minimum payment is about $72 a month, so I'm gonna go ahead and do half of that for this paycheck, $35.84, no variance there. And then Dr. S is my dentist, and I pay him $300 a month for this bill. I had a lot of dental work back last year, and he's so nice because not a lot of dentists, if any, let you do payment plans. It's all like due up front, but he does, and he's the best. So no variances for the budget payments. My budget total and actual will be the same for this one. So we got $290 for American Express, $130 for Quicksilver. Oh, sorry. Hold on. $290 for American Express, $130 for Quicksilver, $258 for CarMax, $35.84 for Navient, and then $150 for the dentist. We have $863.84. $863.84. Same for my actual, and of course this wouldn't be an MGB video if I didn't transpose some numbers along the way. So 863.84. So that is our debt payment total. Then we go over here, and these are all electronic as well. We go over here and we got 863.84 for debt. 84. No variance. So that's how we do that category. And then right under debt expenses, debt payments, we have, okay, sorry guys, my SD card was full, so if there's like an awkward jump here, that's why I just had to delete some stuff off of my overhead camera. But we got our savings total. That's the only thing I was saying. Our savings total, the 63 plus 20, 2501, and 5032, got us to 158.33 on the budgeted and actual side. So no variance there for savings. Remember, we're going to jump back over here and fill that in to the savings portion. 158.33. Now, going down, our next section is apps and memberships. So we're going to turn over. Now, this is where I put everything, like as the name suggests, that is an app or a membership. So let's go ahead and fill in my categories. We have the Dunkin' app, where, you know, I need my coffee. Let's be real. We do $20 for that, and these are pretty standard, so I know in advance what they're going to be. Netflix is $7.50, and this is my monthly cut in half, remember that. Spotify, that I need to cancel, but my sister has to do some stuff on her end so that we can get our playlist right, is $7.50. So I assume pretty soon that this is going to be gone, so we'll take that savings and put it somewhere else, which is for the tollway. I did $10 there. Maybe I should move that up because I control that. I control Dunkin' and iPass, so you guys remind me to move that up in the next video. iCloud, which is for storage, which I filled up super quick, so I don't even know the purpose of this anymore. Oh wait, so I paid that only on my first paycheck of the month, since it's only in the 99 cents. So I have that as zeros. And then Typic, which is also an app that you can use for text on your photos, like for Instagram or Facebook or whatever. That's $3.18 a month, and I like to pay that on my second paycheck. Delta Sonic, which is a car wash. Can you guys see? Yeah. Delta Sonic, $6.50, which I'm super glad that I have this because I was grandfathered into this. I've had it since like 2011, and I only pay $13 a month, but now it's up to $30 a month. I mean, it has grown so much over the years. It's crazy. So they're charging $29.99 a month for the exact same thing that I have for $13. So no variance there. So I'm like scared to get rid of it now. Gym, I still go, but it's just like, wow, do I need this for life? Because what if it's like $50 in 10 years? Gym, $12.50. So remember, my gym used to be only $4. Well, I have Blue Cross, and with Blue Cross Blue Shield, they have like a membership where you can have just one gym membership but go to multiple different facilities, and I didn't really like the facility that I was at per se. I felt like it was very limiting, but like with this one, you pay $25 a month and you can go to like Planet Fitness, LA Fitness, Curves even, and you can go every single day. It's unlimited for the month for $25 a month. So no matter where you are, like when we went to Wisconsin Dells, for example, if I wanted to go to an LA Fitness in Wisconsin, just showing my card, and I can go in there. So I like this way better, that I get the variety to see what other gyms have to offer without being committed, signing annual contracts and things like that with just one gym at that specific location. So that's why it's $12.50 now. And then my last one is Patreon, and that is $4. So no variance there. And my budget and actual columns both equal 20 plus 750 plus the 750 plus 10, 318, 650, 1250, and 4. So we have $71.18 for apps and membership. Put it over here in our electronic section. 71.18. 71.18. Now our last line item is special expenses, and that's right down here. So this is the spot for like one-off things. Even though like I'm so like drilled down to the detail with my budget, this is a spot for like those one-off expenses or even unbudgeted that you may come across that you have to come back and put in here. So we have two this month. I'm sorry, this paycheck, Chase. So my debit card coming back from Wisconsin, I used my card because the gas station was like kind of sketchy. I don't know, I just felt real weird about me or my boyfriend going inside, so I just paid at the pump. So I did $47.82, and that's on my debit card. So I want to pay myself back from using that with this paycheck. So Chase debit, I'm going to do the $47.82, and that's going to go on my special expenses because I'm keeping it in my Chase account. And then planning and crafting. So this used to be a sinking fund, which it still kind of is, but I find myself like, if you're gonna do planning and crafting, originally I had Hobby Lobby in mind, but I haven't really been going to Hobby Lobby, or when I think about it, it's Sunday. So I haven't been going, and to like have the cash there, most of the time when I want to do something planning or crafting related recently, it's been like via Etsy, where like they'll have hobo kits or $2 Tuesdays, things like that. So it's not an app or a membership, and it's not really a bill, but I want to leave it in my checking account, so I just put it in this special expenses spot. And I'm going to do $30 with this paycheck. So if we do the 30 plus the 47.82, I wish, 47.82, we have 77.82. So we're gonna bring that down and bring it up here. No variance there. So let me get a highlighter so that we can see our totals better. So our total there is a 77. Got that. Now we're back up here to our electronic bill section, right? We're going to add up all of these. We're not going to have to add up every single block that we did, because we condensed the blocks into these line items, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to go down and add this up. We do 200, 129, 73, 59, 55, 69, 863, 84, 158, 33, 71, 18, 77, 82. So our budgeted total column is $1,697.76. Our actual column, since we do have two variances here, let's go ahead and add those up. Okay, then our actual column is $1,714.16, and the difference between actual and budgeted is $97.76, $16.40. Now the way to check that is to check your variance column, and that should add up also down and across. So this should cross right here and also be 1640. So if we had a positive 260 and we have a negative 19, that's also 1640. And the actual is higher. So that is correct. So negative $16.40 there. So that's what we have. Okay. So now that we have all of our totals, let's go to our summary page on the front. So far we have income, right? But we also want to do savings, debt, and bills. And then in the middle of that, we want to have the subtotal. And then below that, we want to have the cash envelopes and the sinking funds. All right. So we're going to highlight actually the subtotal section and net income, because those are our two big numbers that we're going to be looking at. So now for savings, we're just going to copy exactly what we have over here, 158.33 from the actual column if you're doing this with me. So that is going to be a negative 158.33. Debt is also a negative, and we're going to copy the actual debt payments column, 863.84, which is the same that we have over here, 863.84. And then this last section we have, I just titled bills, and our bills are going to be everything except our savings and debt from the electronic bill section. So we're going to do all of this plus these two. So we're going to do, can you see it? I'm going to do the actual column anyway. So we're going to do actual rent plus actual cell phone plus actual car insurance plus actual, that's gas, plus the actual swimming lesson, right? We're going to skip debt and savings. We're going to go down to apps and membership, $71.18, and then our special expenses of $77.82. So we have $691.99, and that's going to be a negative over here, $199. So if we do the positive $2,551.76 that we had for income, we take out the savings, what we're putting aside for savings, what we have to put aside for those electronic bills, and sorry, I keep messing up, and what we have to put aside for all the other bills, $691.99, we come out with $837.60 for our subtotal, and that is a positive $837.60. So to recap, once we take our income and subtract out every obligation that we have that we can think of, because we've gone through our debit and credit card statements, we've gone through like our day-to-day spending, what do we do? Like, I like to go to Dunkin', I like to go to Target, but I also have to pay my cell phone bill, things like that. We're left with $837.60. Great, right? Now we can free ball, now we can make it rain. That's what I used to do, but that, spoiler alert, that's the wrong answer. So what we want to do is we want to have an assignment for everything that's left over here. So if you notice, this $837 is out there, right? But since we like to have an assignment for each one of these dollars, we want to divvy it up and do everything else in cash. So now that all the bills are paid, we have this $837. Now we're going to allocate it to different areas of our life, like date night, furniture, if you want to get your hair done, dining out, anything that has to do with your child care, you know, babysitting or any activities, clothing, things like that. So go ahead, really think through your life, how it would fit you best to allocate your money after your bills. So that is what we're going to do here. So if we can jump down to our snapshot here, right, I'll give you a peek into the first two of the 3 line items. So our 3 line items are going to be debt, savings, and then savings plus sinking funds, right? So I wanted to break those out because technically sinking funds are savings, so I wanted to have a snapshot of what that would look like if I counted it as savings, and then if savings just stood on its own, right? So for debt, our total amount was that $863.84, right? Then we're going to see what percent of our income is that. So we take that amount over our income, just simple formula, right? Simple math. So we're going to do $863.84 over our income of $2,551.76. So that right there is 33.89% of our income. That's just going to debt. Savings for the first line, we're only going to count what we were able to do with the electronic savings, and that was the $158.33. So if we take that over our income, that is only 6.2%. 6.2% of our income. So as you can see, that's much lower. We're paying much more in debt than we are saving for our future, but that's the reality of it at this moment. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, let's go on to our sinking funds and cash envelopes. So I also have this layout here where I'm just gonna go ahead and go down and list these first. Okay, so I'm back. I wrote everything out for my cash envelope and sinking fund category. So I have them here and I'll just explain as I go. So for childcare, the current, this is for Elijah's current childcare. I'm going to do $150 from this paycheck. But if you remember, prior to the summer, I actually had a summer childcare envelope. So I'm going to be supplementing what I saved from that sinking fund from there to be able to pay for the summer childcare. So this pay period, I need $150, but I'm going to go ahead and take $100 from my sinking fund envelope. So I actually only need to take out $50 here. And I put the note on my spreadsheet version so I don't take out $150 from my checking account when I go to fund my envelopes. So I'm actually only taking $50 out, but you'll see that flush out in the summary piece. Clothing, I'm going to do $50. Hair and beauty, $20. And I don't need any more makeup, so this is just for Elijah's haircut. Dining out is going to be $50. Elijah miscellaneous, this is a new cash envelope. I went over it also in the spreadsheet video, but there have been many times where I need money, but it's for Elijah like on the fly, or if he wants, he can earn money to put into this envelope to be able to get something like when we go to Target or Michael's or things like that. So for this time, I'm going to start him off with $20 and we'll see where he goes from there. Groceries, $120. Me time, $15. Special events is $10. This has been $0 for a while, so I figured I'd just put a little bit of money in there. Spending / miscellaneous, that's for Mama here. I give myself $40, kind of like an allowance, so I don't feel, again, so restricted. I want to give myself just a little something something so that my budget isn't super tight. Toiletries and household is $25. And toys and entertainment, I went ahead and did $26. And this is Hello for the Lion King. I bumped it up. Usually I'll put about $10 or $15 in there, but I was like, no, we're going to see the Lion King. This is a moment. So, and then I have this extra space. Honestly, I just miscounted the amount of sinking fund rows that I had, but I'm always adding new, taking some away, or swapping one out for another. So I'll go ahead and leave this open, and I'll just put a line there for now since we don't have anything. So adding up all my cash envelopes, it's going to be $526 for the cash envelopes. So we hop over here to our summary page. We have $526, right? But we want to add in that $100 for the child care, from the child care sinking fund, so that we don't take it out. So this is technically a negative on the summary, but since it's a positive here, we'll subtract it instead of add it. So we're just going to do minus 100, and that's how we get the $426 for the sinking fund. I mean, for the cash envelopes, sorry. Also, in the income section, I put in the $100 for the childcare. I don't know if I said that. So I put in the $100 from the summer childcare, and then the $88 from Elijah's activity sinking fund. So that is also reflected in here. So I put it in income and flushed it out in expenses. The only difference is I am only taking out $426 in cash because I have the other $100 in cash. Go ahead and do our highlight there. Sinking funds, we have another 14 of these, I think. Let's see. Yep, we have 14 sinking funds. So again, you may have more, you may have less. Do what works for you. And honestly, not every sinking fund has to be funded every time. You can have 24 sinking funds, but only fund 6 at one time. You know what I mean? So it's better to have too many than not enough. I feel like you can have all of these, but like there have been paychecks where I didn't put anything in anniversary or furniture or date night or birthdays, things like that, but I like to have them there in order to jog my memory and to be able to fund it if I do have, you know, an extra $6. Hey, let's put this aside for, you know, a birthday present, things like that. So just think about what works for you, your family, your lifestyle, and do you. So anniversary, I'm gonna put 20. Back to school, I'm gonna do 75. Birthdays is 10. Car tags is 20. And there's something wrong with my backup camera, so I may be dipping into that sinking fund soon. Summer childcare, we're going to do 0 for now, but I'm leaving it there because we're going to have to start saving up for next summer's childcare. I started saving really late in the game this year, so I want to get on top of that, be proactive for 2020 summer childcare, because it's an inevitable expense. So I'm going to start saving earlier, so I'll have to put aside less per paycheck. Date night, we're going to do 10. Elijah activities, this was, oh crap, this was formally called Eli Extra, but I decided to rename it Eli Activities. Now that's too big. Lord have mercy, help me. Elijah Activities, 25. Furniture, 35. Gifts and Christmas, 20. Health, and that includes health, medical, dental, and vision insurance. I drew a blank there. Moving / home, this was formerly condo fund, but I decided to change it to moving / home because I don't know if I'm actually going to move into a condo, and it may not all be for one specific thing. It's just going to be for my home, wherever my home is, whatever dwelling it ends up being called, whether home, house, condo, townhouse, shack, tiny home. I don't know what it's going to be called, so I just decided to call it moving / home, so I can get things like candles and, you know, beds and bedspreads, and well, not beds because that's furniture, but like, you know, bedspreads and cleaning supplies, things like that. Annual memberships is pretty fixed at $11 per paycheck. Vacation slash travel, we did 50, and then rainy day. Usually I don't like to do the, you know, work with the change, you guys know that, but I completely forgot to put it over in Elijah's fund. So we'll just take that $2 and put it in the rainy day savings, make that $52.60. So I was gonna do 50, but I'm just gonna add the 260 to that, do 260, 52.60. So if we add all of these together, should be equals $411.60. That's right, you can see that comes out to $411.60. I don't know what that was. Let's do that. $411.60 for the sinking funds. Let's hop over here to our summary page. Do negative $411.60. So, like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm a zero-based budgeter, which means I like to have an assignment for all of my money. So we ended up with our income minus expenses being $837.60. So these two things, the cash envelopes plus the sinking fund, is where I allocated that money. It should end up being $0 at the end of the day. So let's see. So if we have $837.60 minus the $426 that we're using for our cash envelopes, minus the $411.60 that we are using for our sinking funds, that equals 0, which is perfect, which was our goal. So our net income equals $0.00, which means that we don't have any unaccounted for funds hanging out there. So going down to our snapshot, if we do savings, which is the $158.33, plus the sinking funds, which is $411.60, that is $569.93. If we take that $563.93 and put it over our income of $2,551.76, 76, that equals 22.3% of our income. So when we look at it that way, it's a little bit better. I still wish that I was able to do more, but that's what we have. So this snapshot here is a great way to kind of see where your budget takes you throughout the years, right? You need to be into your budget. You need to be completely into it, like working your document, whether you put it on your phone, in your planner, on the back of your hand, on a spreadsheet, on a jump drive, in a Word document, wherever. You need to be in your budget, right? So this is a great way to see, like, oh, okay, in July of 2019 debt was 33% of my income, but look where the Lord has brought me now, and in July of 2021 debt is only 15.7%, you know? So it's a great way to be able to see where you're going, where your decisions are taking you, right? So I really like that I added the snapshot portion down here. Pat myself on the back. So I'm really looking forward to using that. So that is really it for the budgeting portion. I also made this kind of like transaction log, I've seen it called in other in other like budget packs. I've seen it called a transaction log. I like to call it a spending tracker. I don't know, just be real basic, straight to the point. Transaction log just sounds so formal, and you guys know I'm only formal on work emails. Any other time, miss me, okay? So this is what we have for our July paycheck part 2, and it's laid out really nice, really clean. This is really backwards. It's laid out really nice, really clean, and a great way to just be able to look, see what you did, see what you can do better, you know, and move along. So I'm thinking that, I know I've changed this up a lot, but I'm thinking that I found budget planner piece. Could it be? I don't know. We'll see how this works. Maybe for the month of August, September if anything changes. Oh, and I also put a note section down here just for anything, because I also had another small section, but I didn't have like any smaller like blocks to put down there. So there's also a note section right there. So that's it. And then your spending tracker, you kind of fill out as you go. You can use like the highlighter method or anything like that to be able to track it easily, like at a glance, to see what went where. But I have where you spent it, like let's say Krispy Kreme, category, dining out, amount, you know, 1002, something like that. And then you can go back and kind of highlight. I was thinking about putting like a key right here, so like your top 5 or 7 you can have you know, like gray is dining out, blue is miscellaneous, orange is for kids, or you know, red is for unbudgeted, things like that. So I'm gonna fill this in as I go, but that is what I came up with for this Paycheck's budget layout. So I'm gonna have this here. I'm gonna prop it up here. Actually, let's move my Red Bull out the way, prop it up here so that I can look at it as I go through and fill my cash envelopes. So this is like the grand finale piece, so let me get everything straight and I'll be right back. Okay, so last part of the video, which is the most exciting part, I feel like, because now you see like your vision is like realized in physical form. So I like this part personally. But I'm going to be filling my cash envelopes and my sinking fund. My cash envelopes I have here in my Filofax Saffiano wallet. There is a link down below to the Amazon store where I got this from. A lot of people in the budget community use this. It's been becoming very popular since myself and a couple other people have been showing it on YouTube. So it may not be available, but you can always go ahead and check the Filofax site. Shh, don't tell anyone. But you can go to filofaxusa.com as well. You don't have to get everything off of Amazon. So I got that there. I love the orange one personally. Orange is my favorite color. I was actually thinking about putting on orange lipstick till I looked down and saw I had on an orange shirt. Thought that would be too much, but I live for you. I live for orange. So those are my cash envelopes. Carry these with me every day. And then I have a Kate Spade Wellesley planner from like 3.5, 4 years ago. Totally beat up. Got it from the outlet. It's probably not there anymore, but she was the one, I think, who like made these zip around planners popular. So this is actually just a personal size planner that I have my cash envelopes in. I sell cash envelopes that will fit both of these systems perfectly, or any personal size planner. So you can also go ahead and check the link down below for links to my Shopify and Etsy stores. So once again, I purchased these, but everything that you see inside is handmade by me, except for the money. I wish I could print money. Girl, don't get me started. So let's go ahead and go through. Cash envelopes are what I like to do first. You can fit about 9 or 10 envelopes in this wallet, but you see the rings are really small. If you don't want the rings for some reason and you just like the leather part of it, this actually does come out and you don't have to use the rings. But the rings do make it much easier, like flippable, everything. Nothing falls out of this planner whatsoever, but you do have the like pockets on the side where, you know, if you put in loose papers like receipts and everything, of course those are not as secure, but then it also has like a change portion. So love this wallet. I've had it since I started my budget journey last November, and it has held up because I am rough and tough with my stuff. Let's go ahead and start with the current childcare. So childcare current, remember, is $150, but if we jump over here to my sinking funds, okay, so this is my current childcare envelope. If we jump over to my sinking funds for summer childcare, we actually have $300 left in here from that I funded. So we're going to take out 100 from here. So that reduces that cash envelope, increases this one, and then we're going to take a 50. So that's what I was talking about, like using my sinking fund to supplement my current expenses. So we got that in there, all paid up. So I can go ahead and pay this on August 1st. Yeah, August 1st is a Thursday, I think. So I'll go ahead and pay that. Clothing, I'm gonna do, oh wait, Oh, I put beauty and hair and then I put hair and beauty on here, so I was getting confused. Okay, so 20 for beauty and hair. It's going in there. Clothing, we're gonna do 50. I need some new work clothes bad, so we got 50 in there. Dining out, we're gonna do another 50, but since we don't go any place fancy, like, you know, drive-throughs and things like that is what we usually go to, or like Olive Garden is like the fanciest we get, because we got to get in, we got to get out, we got things to do. Keep in mind that most places like that, like drive-through, Wendy's, McDonald's, don't take $50 bills. So I like to break it down. Oh, I didn't show you my bank bitch note. So I like to break it down. Still do 50, but I do 2 20s and a 10. So the way that I got this is I added up all of my cash envelopes and sinking funds, and I saw where I needed it. Like this 50 for dining out I have here, but I did 2 20s and a 10. So I like to make a note for the bank teller, and I'm thinking about making these available too. Not these, but I'm thinking about making printable ones available that you can just print out, laminate yourself, and reuse. So you just go ahead and go down and you make a list of what denominations you need your money back in. So that's how I did that. So I'm going to take 2 20s and a 10 for dining out. Eli Miscellaneous, this is the new one. He's obsessed with Pokemon at the moment, so I found some Pokemon papers for him and made him a quick one. Hold on, my planner is not cooperating. All right, made him a quick one. I don't think I did a $20 bill for that. I think I did all 5s, if I'm not mistaken. If I am, I'll come back and correct it. So I think I did all 5s for that. Gas, we're skipping now because remember we're using our American Express. Groceries, we're going to do 120. Grocery stores do take $100 bills, so we're going to take advantage of that. Me time is 15. That's just for like a pedicure or, you know, a new nail polish here or there. I'm gonna stuff that with 15. Spending / miscellaneous, I need to make a new one of these. This one is beat up. We got 40, so 20 40. Toys and entertainment, we did 26, 25, and 26. We go to a super cheap theater over by us, so that's how I know how much it's gonna cost, because we're there with every Marvel movie that comes out, every Pixar movie, and they have free refills on ices and popcorn, so you know we're in there. Toiletries and household got 25. This paycheck, and that should be it. Oh wait, no, special expenses got 10. Sorry, I forgot that. So we got 10 for them. And then this is our current childcare, so that's all paid up. So now we are all ready to tackle the next 2 weeks before we get paid. Everything should be able to come out of here. So we shouldn't be swiping debit and credit cards if we can help it, if it's not, you know, beneficial to us, or if it's unplanned. We should try to avoid that, so that's why we're armed. It's kind of like meal prep. You know, you meal prep so that you are less likely to buy food out. With this, you stuff your cash envelope so you're less likely to scan your debit and credit card. So think of it like that. All right, then we're moving on to our sinking funds. So anniversary, put 20. And this looks really empty. If you didn't see my Insta story, I went ahead and emptied out all of my sinking funds and deposited into my Chase account. Put it on my spreadsheet so I still know how much I have for each, and started over with, you know, 0 in all of them. So it looks really skinny. They used to be like out to here, but it was crazy. Back to school, we did 75, so 50, 60, 70, and 5. cannot believe, just cannot believe. Birthdays, we did 10. Car tags and maintenance. Like I said, I need to get my backup camera looked at. Hopefully that doesn't cost too much. Summer childcare, we're gonna skip for now. We'll revisit it probably with the first paycheck of September, I'm thinking. Date night, 10. Eli activities, this is the one that was formerly Eli Extra. I just made this for him real quick. So got 25 there. He's also obsessed with Spider-Man, Marvel in general, but Spider-Man specifically. Who is your favorite Marvel character? Leave that down below. I love me some Thor. Or if I had to pick a villain, it would be who is the Infinity Stone guy? What was his name? Did it start with a G or something? I don't know, but I really liked him in Infinity Stone. I would be him if I had to be a villain, and then Thor if I was a superhero. Furniture, we did 35, 20, 30, and 5. Gifts and Christmas, we're gonna do 20. Drew a blank. Health, which is medical, dental, and vision, we're gonna do 10. Moving / home, this is a new like a fall print and a font that I was testing out. Let me know if you guys like this. I wasn't too sure about it, so I just did a test on myself. So moving / home got 73, so 50, 60, 70, 1, 2, and 3. So there was something that I used a 20 for that I meant to use 2 10s. I can tell that now because there will be no reason for me to do 2 10s for moving. Okay. And then vacation and travel, we did 50. And then memberships, we did 11. So 10 and 11 here. And then rainy day savings is $52.60, but remember I did it at the end, so I only have 50 here, and we're gonna go ahead and transfer the $2.60, which is the surplus technically from our checking account, over to our savings account. So we got 50 in cash, $2.60 in digital form. So I'll go ahead and do that off camera at the end. So yeah guys, that is it. We are done with our cash. This is our cash stuffing. The sinking funds do not come with me. They stay at home in a safe place, but the cash envelopes do come with me on a day-to-day basis. If I don't feel quote-unquote safe carrying all this inside, I'll go ahead and, you know, just take portions of it out, knowing where I'm going. Like if I'm going to the hood or something, you know, I'll pre-plan that ahead. So that is everything for this Paycheck's budgeting. I hope that this made sense. I feel like I went into a lot of detail, talked about a lot of stuff, but I feel like I have to keep it kind of informative because there are a lot of people that are finding me on a daily basis, and they may pick up at this video right here. You never know, they probably won't start at the beginning, but I still hope that you guys enjoyed. So let me know if you have any questions down below. Do you budget zero based, or do you kind of just, you know, see what happens, let the chips fall where they may? Keep in mind that I'm a single mother with a single income. I don't have things like property taxes or mortgage, cable, internet, or landscaping, things like that that most people probably would who are in a different situation than I am. But remember, your budget is totally on you. You may have 2 incomes where maybe both of you get paid every Friday and it's alternating Friday, so you get money all the time and you have to budget more for that. But be aware that you can still take what I do in my videos and apply it to your life, no matter how often you get paid. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Go ahead and leave a comment down below your favorite Marvel character and let me know how you budget. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't, if you like budgeting and personal finance types of videos, and I will continue to do them. I'll also leave links down below to the things that you've seen here. Let me know if you like these budget inserts, if you guys use a happy planner or whatever kind of planner. If you want to see these, I'm not sure kind of, you know, what the consensus is. I just like to test things out on myself first, but I really like this layout that I came up with. So I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for your support. Peace out.